I'm Nathan from Sound Design Live, and I'm here today with Susan Williams from Full Sail University, Sound Girls, among other things. We're going to be talking about her presentation at Live Sound Summit today. So Susan, maybe while I am copying and pasting this Facebook link into a couple of places where it needs to be, you could tell us where you're at in the world today and maybe how you've been staying sane during quarantine.
Yes. Well, I am Susan Williams. Hello, hello. I am a teacher at Full Sail University, and I've been there for over 7 years now. I teach in the show production department. So before that, I was a live sound engineer for theater for many years, and then I've also worked for some of the theme parks and all that jazz. But I do a lot of stuff with Sound Girls, which is what led me down to meet you and this path. Um, And quarantine for us has been weird. So I'm in Florida, and Florida doesn't seem to care. Like, we've had the beaches open pretty much the whole time. You just weren't allowed to go during certain hours or whatever. Florida doesn't seem to care too much, um, if we're safe or not. But yeah, when they closed Disney, that's when you realized it was pretty serious here.
Is that the biggest business in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
or at least for
Oh.
that we know of.
I mean, closing Disney, the only time they've done that before that I can recall is during like a hurricane, and then it was a day or two. So for them to be closed for several months and put all of their employees and entertainment personnel on furlough is crazy. So that's definitely hit us pretty hard over here. Um,
Yikes.
yeah.
And you told me about something really crazy that happened yesterday, like mind explodingly crazy. What was it?
What was it that I told you yesterday?
The thing about AT&T.
Oh
I'm
man,
I'm making a joke, but yes, the thing about AT&T.
our internet was down yesterday for basically the entire state of Florida.
The entire state, the internet was down. People went out
Uh,
of their minds. They were
it
just
sucked.
running madness in the street. No.
It was. I didn't even realize that it was that widespread until I saw a friend's Facebook post, and they were on the phone with them for like an hour yesterday trying to figure out what the hell is going on because we need the internet. And they were like, oh, yeah, it's pretty much down for the whole state. And I looked up a coverage map, and just the whole Florida peninsula was just red out. Yeah,
Yikes. That's terrible.
it is.
Okay, so I've got the video open now. So I know there's like a 30-second delay between the things that we say and by the time that you see it on Facebook. But
Mhm.
if those of you who are watching this could please just give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat to let us know that everything is working. That'll give us some confidence that we're not just talking into the void and that things are working. Otherwise, I'll need to do some other things over here on the live stream. So let's get into talking about the 5%. So I'm super curious about this. We haven't talked about this at all before, just a little bit about like, what should we talk about
Yeah.
at Live Sound Summit? So your session for Live Sound Summit is going to be called The 5%, Steps You Can Take to Balance the Audio Industry. So what was your motivation? What inspired this title?
I've been a blog writer for Sound Girls for about a year and a half, I think now, and so a lot of my articles have revolved around not just stories that my friends have told or that I've explained, but also research that I've done and facts to back that up. So the whole thing with Sound Girls is that women represent 5% of the audio industry. That number might be a little bit more now, but doing more research on it and women in entertainment, filmmaking, stuff like that, it's still extremely low, like way disproportionately low. I've been doing a lot of research and talking with a lot of other women and men and all kinds of people about what we can do to promote the other half of the workforce. Like, there's 50% of us that are totally into this stuff, and I have female students and lady students who love it and love coming to school and learning about audio production and all of that, and we're just not represented in the industry as well as other people are. So that's my motivation. I've been writing a lot about it, and doing a lot of research. So I have some beautiful graphs in my blogs um, of data because I don't want to just be that person who's just I'm not yelling at anyone that it's somebody's fault. I definitely don't want to have that perspective. It's more of everyone that I've talked to, as far as my friends, my colleagues, are all supportive, and they're shocked at that number because they don't understand how it could possibly be so low.
It
Um,
is shocking.
yeah, I mean, and coming from theater, I mean, we always had other women working as stage managers, lighting designers, of course, actresses. But once I got more into working in television and film, the numbers were way lower from my personal experience. So that's what got me started on it. And I've just been basically doing at least a year of research on the topic and finding solutions. And then speaking about it is one of my solutions to help.
So the first question that comes up in my mind um, is, what is balance? What is the goal? Is it, if we're at 5% now, is balance 50%, or is just 5% just like a number for, a jumping off point for the conversation?
It's definitely a jumping off point because different parts of the industry, especially film, they have slightly different numbers. Some are as low as 1 or 2%. Uh, for sound editors or sound designers in films, composers, stuff like that is really super low. So it's not like I need 50% of audio engineers to be women. It's just that we have this, everybody does. It's Becky Campbell from Sound Girls also. We've had this phrase of sound humans. We love what we do. We love our jobs. We love working in production. So it's not that there aren't available people to work in these fields that are women. It's just a bunch of other things that are kind of keeping them from getting that extra jump or kind of making it into that industry. So I don't need 50%. I don't think any of us care if it's 50%. I think we just want to be more accepted because we're um, just as capable. Sometimes we can do other really awesome things that are a different perspective from your typical, sound guy. I mean, there's kind of a sound guy look. Not saying, not going to describe what it is, but in my experience, there's like a sound guy look. Like you can kind of scan the room, and you're like, that's the one. And changing that look, or at least making it a little bit more diverse, is probably, I think, our goal in general.
Okay, great. Well, Susan, while I've got you here, I have a couple more questions for you, but then I also wanted to invite anyone that's watching us on Facebook to send questions in to Susan. Obviously, she'll be covering more of this in detail at Live Sound Summit during her presentation and session, but we can get a few questions in there. So for example, Todd already sent a question in. Hi, Todd. So Todd says, what percentage of students in the show production program at Full Sail are women? So do you have any idea what that number is?
I don't have a specific percentage, but I can tell you when I have a class of 50 students, for example, it's maybe 2 to 5 of my students, and that's in my experience. So I'm pretty early on in the program, and so I get higher numbers than my colleagues in the later departments, but it's pretty low. It's often not zero, although I've had entire classes that were zero. So I don't have a number, but it's representative of 5 to 10%.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure what Todd was thinking, but as he was asking that question, I was thinking, oh, maybe your classes are 50% now. And
Yeah.
so this is all going to turn around in 4 or 5 years, but that's not the case right now.
I think the most I've ever had was a group of 6 out of maybe 12 to 15, but I think they might have kind of congregated together, because the way that Full Sail works is kind of weird, but every month you get a new class. So over time, the class that you originally start with is probably not what your end class looks like because if someone takes time off or has to repeat something or, whatever. So, I mean, we've had larger groups of women come through, but typically it's still pretty low.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to show everyone this page. This is where you can register for Susan's talk, the 5%. And while we're looking at this, Susan, Can you share with us maybe one of the takeaways or big ideas that you hope that I'll walk away with from your talk? I know you're going to be covering several steps, actions. What is the main thing that you want me to walk away with, or maybe the main action you want me to take?
I've definitely had a call to action for this. So and I say this as far as Sound Girls, and I'm also part of the Avixa Women's Council. Our main call to action is to promote, and this is for all of us. It's for you. It's for anybody who's got daughters, nieces, sisters, cousins, just to promote that women can do these things. If your niece wants to be a scientist or a freaking astronaut, then promote them, push them towards that. So if they show a passion, like young women can't do math, like that's the things that we've heard as kids growing up. It's ridiculous. So my call to action is to promote those people that you see, because everyone's got a mom or a sister or a cousin or something that's young and impressionable. And so moving forward to how can we support the young people and the kids and the college students to go something that they really care about,
Yeah.
because just working a regular job sucks. I think you know that too. We're in this industry because doing that stuff sucks for us. So I don't want to force, my niece or anything to go do something that she's not passionate about. So if they show that kind of passion, I just want to help. I want everybody to promote that. It doesn't matter if it's live sound or astronauts. Either way, super cool.
Yeah. Okay, great. That sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So for those of you watching, if you want to make sure that you are registered for Live Sound Summit and that you're going to see Susan's talk, you can do that at livesoundsummit2020.sounddesignlive.com. And just go to the either speakers page and look for Susan, or the schedule and look up the 5%. And I think I put a link already in the description for this post, so you can get it there too. Okay, so we're not going to end yet. I have a couple more questions I wanted to ask. Let's see, I asked you about the takeaway. Oh, have you looked at the schedule, Susan? And is there anyone on the schedule that you're looking forward to seeing? Because we've got 35 other people that are going to be speaking across these 5 days.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple of people that we interviewed for the Sound Girls podcast that we just launched. So Scott Adamson is one of them, and I saw that he has a talk with a bunch of other people about the next, I think it's 6 months of touring.
Yep,
So
the
what
next
that's
6
going to
months.
look like. Yeah, so I'm interested in that one. And then Beth O'Leary, her stage plot talk, I'm very excited because that's a huge assignment in my class and a couple of other classes, and I'm really excited to learn some stuff for that and share some of her tips for my students, because that's probably the roughest thing for them to get by. I don't know why, but I'm excited for that one too, and she's super cool. I talked to her I think last week.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to those as well. So let me just check to see if there's any other questions in the chat, and then we can wrap up pretty soon. Cool. I got Todd's question. Graham just mentioned, so Graham teaches as well, and he says 5 to 10% seem consistent with what I've seen. Thank you, Graham. Great. Well, Susan, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Yes, I have got a couple of Sound Girls tote bags that we can give away.
Yeah, the giveaway.
Yes, so I have a couple of those. They're just like the, canvas bags that you get and take for your groceries or whatever. Sound Girls, so I'm excited to share those. And then I'm excited to just be able to share this idea and this concept that I've been, researching pretty much on my own for the past year. So I'm excited to have an outlet for that. So thank you, Nathan.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. So if you want to win those tote bags, we should post a picture of them. So if you send a link or a picture to those later, we'll put them on this video so get people excited about those. If you want to win the tote bags, make sure you register for Susan's talk and you attend, and then you'll be entered into this drawing, and it'll all happen automatically.
Oh my gosh, I forgot someone else though.
Yes.
My friend Omar.
Oh yeah.
AV Educate. His talk on, I think his is a general, like how to be a stagehand and work in the industry and kind of move up, right?
Yeah, it's called something like stagehand to technician to engineer, something like that. Yeah, so That's going to be cool because he, you know, there is a career ladder in the audio industry, but it's not immediately visible, or
Yeah.
it's not like written about or clear. So I think he's going to try and clear some of that up for us.
It's also great to hear other people talk about this stuff because even if I say that in my own lectures, the students never listen to me. So if I have someone else that will tell them that the same kind of ideas, it helps because at least they're getting the information, but they don't always want it from, their own teacher for some reason.
Yeah, or somebody says it in another, well, you're the person that forces them to do things, right? So someone else says it with like a different way, or maybe using a different metaphor, and then it like goes into a different place in your brain.
Yeah.
Or, it's like you're trying to get the pickle jar open, and you try and you get it halfway there, but then Susan comes in and like pops it open, and you're like, oh, I just needed that last turn.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone for being here with us. If you want to post more questions on here, I'm sure we'll see them later. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day and hope to see everyone at the summit. Bye guys.